Today we're going to talk about the percent proportion, which is Unit 2, Lesson 1. The learning target is, I can use the percent proportion to solve real-world problems. All right, here are your notes for how to use the percent proportion to solve a problem. First, I want you to think about this proportion as two equivalent ratios. So we have the part. Sometimes it has a Q word, is. That's your numerator. Over the whole amount, sometimes its Q word is of. And that equals the percent without a symbol over 100. Now here are the steps that you are going to follow. First, we're going to identify the part that is missing. The percent, the part, or the whole. We're going to find that by looking at the question that's being asked. 2, we're going to fill in the proportion with what the problem gives us. 3, we're going to solve the proportion for the missing number. And finally, we're going to make sure the answer matches the form asked. So if I'm asked for percent, I have to make sure I give a percent sign. If I am asked to round my answer, I need to make sure I've done that. Okay, here are 6 problems that we're going to work through together. We're going to start them all out the same way. We're going to have a template. We're going to have one ratio equals another ratio. Now first it asks what percent. And if I look back at the last page of notes that we just took, the percent goes here, and I don't know that, so I'm going to put an X there. Of 25, the of number belongs lower left, is 20. The is number goes on the upper side, the numerator of the left-hand ratio. And this number is always 100. So you are going to pick up your calculator. You're going to take 20 times 100, multiply here, and then you're going to divide by the number that's left over, divided by 25, and you will find out that your answer is 80. But it asked what percent, so I have to make sure I put my percent sign. Okay, good job. Let's try the next one. We're going to have our template set up. A ratio equals another ratio. This time it says what number, and I'm not sure what number we're talking about yet, so I'm going to hold off on putting my X in. But I know we have 5%. The percent is always the numerator on the right-hand side. No percent sign, just the number. Of 60, the of number is the denominator down here. And this number is always 100. That means my X goes right there. So you're going to pick up your calculator. You're going to take 5 times 60. And you're going to divide whatever you get by that 100. I'll give you a second to do that. And I believe our answer will be X is 3. It's just asking for a number, so I can just leave it like that. All right, next one. Let's go ahead and get our template set up. 40%. The 40 is always my numerator on the right-hand side. I'm not going to use that percent sign. Of what number? The of goes down here. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to put an X. Is 26. The is number is my numerator. That's the part. And then this number is always 100. All right, once you have placed your numbers, you can start multiplying. So you're going to multiply your cross product. 26 times 100 divided by this last number. And you're going to find out that X is 65. All right, at this point, I want you to stop me. I want you to work out the 3 problems on the bottom and then come back and check me. right, so let's check and see how well you did. So I've got my template set up, and I have 1275 is, so that's going to go up here. 1275 is, what percent, I don't know, of 50 goes down here, and then this number is always 100. So you would have taken 1275 times 100, and then you would divide whatever that is by 50, and you would have come up with x equals 25.5, and since it's asking what percent, put a percent sign there. There's a decimal there. All right, next one. Template. 12%, 12 goes here with no percent sign. Of 85 goes there. 100 always goes there. And this is x. So you're going to take your calculator and take 85 times 12. And whatever you get, you're going to divide by 100. And so your answer is going to be x equals 10 and 2/10. All right, last one. All right, so here's my template. 80 is 75%. 100 always goes here, and that is x. So you take your calculator and you take 80 times 100. You divide by 75, that's an arrow, and you're going to get x equals 106, and the 6 is going to be repeating forever and ever and ever, so I'm going to use bar notation. All right, there's your answer. So let's try a problem-solving task. This says, the sales team at an electronics store sold 48 computers last month. Pretty sure that's important. The manager at the store wants to encourage the sales team to sell more computers and is going to give all sales team members a bonus if the number of computers sold increases by 30% in the next month. How many computers must the sales team sell to receive the bonus? So let's set this up. I know 100 is always going to go there. I know that he wants us to increase by 30%, so my 30 goes there. And I know that they sold 48 computers, a total of 48 computers last month. I don't know how many we need to increase by. So I'm going to multiply 48 times 30. Whatever you get, you're going to divide by 100. And x equals 14 4/10. Well, let's think about that for a minute. I can't sell 14 4/10 computers. I can either sell 14 computers or 15 computers. And 14 computers is not going to be enough. So I need to sell, or whoever wants the bonus, they have to sell 15 extra computers. But let's see here for a minute. It says, how many computers must the sales team sell to receive the bonus? If they only sell 15, they won't have increased. Let's use a little bit of number sense. They sold 48 last month. We have to sell 15 more. Let me put my answer up here. So it appears that the sales team is going to have to sell 63 computers. All right, here's another problem-solving task. It says 5,000 people visited a book fair in the first week. The number of visitors increased by 10% in the second week. How many people visited the book fair in the second week? All right, I think this is pretty important, and I think that's pretty important. So I'm going to set up my template. I know 100 always goes here. The percent goes above that, no percent sign. And a total of 5,000 people visited, and I don't know what part that is. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 5,000 times 10. Whatever you get, you're going to divide by 100. Give you a second to do that. So X is 500 more people. But let's go back to the question. It says, how many people visited the book fair in the second week? That would not be our answer. It's got to be more than 5,000 people. So what we have to do is we have to take the 5,000 from last week, add in the 500 more people, and the answer to the question is 5,500 people visited the book fair in the second week.